Alright, what's going on, guys? Today this video is going to be off rip again. Loki didn't prepare, but we're going to do it anyway. So I'm going to talk about the oil effect on this country, or that will be happening, right? I've done some research, not particularly because, I am in college. This fucking BMW driver's going to piss me off, bro. I don't know what is BMW drivers, man. I was like turning out, I almost got like clipped, dude. Dude came in flying. All right, anyway, so if you guys aren't aware, right, with the war in Iran, blah, 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 I don't give a fuck what your political take is, all right? But the thing I'm going to talk about is the effect of the fact that we're going to run out of oil worldwide, at least in the West, right? Many people know that, everybody had their reasons for why we went to Venezuela or whatever, but the reason was obviously to get their oil supply, right? To prepare for this bullshit that we're doing now, right? I mean, that makes sense. And a lot of MAGA and Republican people are saying, oh, well, now that we have this, plus the Alaskan oil and the Gulf of Mexico, I'm not calling it the Gulf of America, bro, fuck you. But, and then you have all this oil there, the USA is going to be fine. But that's not, because, we are the biggest, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure we're the biggest exporter of oil now, at least, crude oil in the world, or maybe second, but, the issue is, if we're actually going to have an oil crisis, we can't sell that, dude, because that means everybody's going to take it at the same rate we're all going to take it here. And the other thing is Venezuela oil, and also in the Gulf of Mexico, there are lots of oil rigs and whatnot drilling in the Gulf of Mexico, but not enough to get stuff like that fast, you know what I mean, in a crisis. And a lot of you are like, well, there's no crisis yet. Yeah, because if you know anything about how oil is transported, it's transported in oil barges, right? If any of you ever seen an oil barge, they move slow as shit. So when we start the war, there's still tons of ships en route around the world to other countries like China, Russia, Europe, all those countries. I'm too lazy to list them. America, Canada, South, all the South American countries. All those ships are still en route when as we've been attacking Iran, right? But what people have been fearing is, and I think Britain already, or England, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I think England already had a news story about how it's they're going to receive their last shipment either this week or next week. And then after that, they're going to have to start rationing out, this winter's going to be pretty goddamn cold. You're not going to have fucking room to, start, doing long ass fucking, heat things in your house and this and that and this other thing. But that's not just England. It's England, it's France, it's Germany. Honestly, probably fucking Ukraine too. They're literally at war. Probably Russia as well. But Russia is, for some reason, the United States is giving Russia a ton of fucking leeway, which is not helping Trump's accusations of being their puppet and or Israel's, We all know that's probably true, but, I just have to say that because, YouTube's probably going to fucking kill me if I say he is. But, yeah, and it's but for fuck, I need the damn energy drink. Can't speak right. Sorry, I just got out of a meeting in college, and it's oh, that's good. Fuck, that's good. All right, I want to talk about the oil crisis here in this country because obviously I wasn't alive in the fucking 1970s, and in 2008 I was 3 years old. So, god damn, that guy's bass is loud as fuck in the car next to me. Always got that Kanye West on. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so in this country, right, I have a hard time understanding how that would actually look like. Anybody who's been in an oil crisis, I don't give a fuck if you're from a different country or if you lived in the 70s, maybe you can shed light on it. But it's right now, you guys can't see, you just see what I'm driving here. But outside, there are thousands of cars, bro. You know what I mean? I'm in Illinois. This state is, all states are car heavy. And for some fucking reason, even though there's millions of other ways to power our country and for transportation, obviously for the oil tycoons and the rich elites of the world, we're only stuck on oil, right? And it's like, oil isn't really a renewable resource in and of itself. But for right now, it's like, it also doesn't help America. On a different note, if we hoard all the oil, or at least that we can get, and our allies get nothing, how do you think that makes us look to the rest of the world? Like, we're already looking pretty shitty. All that's going to do is make more enemies, and possibly more wars in the distant future. But for this year, like, when the last oil barges get here to the ports, people, like, right now, well, there's nothing wrong with oil. Gas is only going up a little bit. It's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad now. Just understand the United States didn't buy enough oil to prepare for this. Like, during COVID, I think oil was some of the cheapest it's ever been, and China bought like damn near millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of barrels of oil. Probably because they knew some bullshit was going to be going down in the future. Like, I know everybody memes on China, but the one thing you have to give them is they were here 3,000 years ago. They will still be here in 3,000 years. The Chinese think in terms of centuries. Not like our fucking retarded U.S. politicians that think in terms of like 2 years. Maybe one, So the issue is, like, with the fucking MAGA coalition, right? If that's even still a thing at this point. They are hell-bent on war and enriching themselves. So, like I said, regardless of what political stance you're on, because I'm not a fucking Democrat, I'm not a fucking Republican. I don't care if you are. But the point is like, we're all going to be suffering because everybody watching this video is probably fucking poor, like me. We're all working regular jobs, and we're going to have to realize that, hey, I can't drive to work. Because in this upcoming oil crisis that will happen, it will happen. If I'm wrong, I don't care. I swear to God, this shit's going to happen. The Venezuela oil, there's no infrastructure in place to extract that anytime soon. And we don't have enough fucking, oh my God, what is it called? Oil extractors. Oh my God, what is that called? Oil pumps. You know what I mean? And like, in this country, to feed this entire country by itself without taking in these exports from the Middle East, which is where we're going to war. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at after 2001, right, when our genius government decided that we're going to go invade the Middle East there. Oh, shit, there's a truck coming. Come on, speed up, car. Oh, Nissan, come on. Okay, we're good. Like, notice how Bush didn't fucking invade Iran? He could have blamed any goddamn country for 9/11. Because he fucking knew where this country's stock market is literally located. People think that this country generates money and that we're backed by the Americans. We're backed by gold. This currency that we have is not backed by anything, right? I'm in finance, okay? Everybody knows that we've been taking off the gold standard from, what was it, fucking Nixon in like the 70s or some shit. So our dollar is worth practically nothing. But we negotiated with the fucking sultans and shit in the Middle East for the petrodollar, right? Everybody has to trade in U.S. currency with oil. That's why our currency is at the top. By attacking that, if we lose, hell, even if we win the war, but our reputation gets damaged, people might just switch to the new currency, which is BRICS, BRICS currency, the new access powers, right? Like, what is that, fucking China, Brazil, Russia? Well, it was Venezuela, but, we took them over, apparently. Like those types of countries, or even just the fucking European pound or whatever the fuck it's called, Because, honestly, I don't know why Europe even, like, strategically is even still allied with the U.S. Like France, or no, maybe not France, but I think Spain. Actually, yeah, I think it was like France, Spain, Portugal, and Germany. I'm not sure. Closed their airspace to the U.S., right? for this fucking war. And it's just like, if I was a European leader, like look, I'm American, right? But if I was like a German leader, I would dead ass say, if you're gonna cause an oil crisis for half the world, we're gonna get rid of every single military base in Europe, like from the U.S., and we're gonna attack them and take over all your shit, you know? Or we're gonna have like a fire on U.S. personnel policy if we see them. I don't know why Europe is like, we're gonna send a strongly worded letter to the U.S. Like, bro, look at what we've already done, you know? Shit. But sorry, back to the oil crisis video. Like, it's, now, going on to what that's gonna look like, I just don't really know, you know what I mean? Because, like I said, right now, I'm literally driving on the fucking highway home. You know, gas, when I just got it today, was like $4.29, I think, right? But this is only the start. This is only 20 days in, and gas has gone up almost $1.20, I think. Now imagine what happens when the shipments stop, when the millions of barrels stop coming here. We don't have enough infrastructure in this fucking country to support all the stuff that we do, right? And oil isn't just for driving around. Like, you have to understand, all those people who bought fucking electric cars and heat their houses with, like, electric shit, that's also powered by oil. Yes, it is. And any of you who don't know that are probably dumb as hell. All of our electricity, like, power plants are powered by fucking oil. That's how you make electricity. You know, because obviously, like, you know, our government's too worried about invading other countries and touching kids than to, you know, actually build the U.S. infrastructure. Like, after World War II, I will give it to, you know, Truman and Eisenhower and all those people who came after. They really invested into our infrastructure, you know. They had social programs. They gave a fuck about construction, you know, like, there was plentiful jobs. Now it's like, we've outsourced everything. Now we're causing our own oil crisis, which, keep in mind, 2 months ago, this was not an issue. This was not a problem 2 months ago. This was not Iran's doing. We and Israel attacked them, right? So this is our fault. So now we're about to have, so not only has the U.S. taxpayer had to deal with tariffs that you pay for, yes, you watching this, you pay for tariffs, not the government. And the government illegally took like $100 billion of tariff money they had to pay back, you know. Now, there's going to be a potential oil crisis, which is going to make it hard to fucking drive anywhere. And, you know, I don't know, like, take a damn hot shower, heat your damn house when it's cold. All you fucking Texans out there, people are like, we don't need half the USA. No, you're not, dude. Your country can't even heat itself when the country is fine. What are you going to do when oil runs out, bro? You know? What's California going to do? It's like, what the hell? But yeah, like those are just some problems that I foresee coming up. Like I said, I'm not one of those people who's going to offer solutions. I don't fucking know. You know, honestly, like I said before, I hate people who offer solutions when they don't actually have concrete evidence. Like I hate it when YouTube videos are like, yeah, here's everything going wrong, but I'm gonna give an uplifting solution. I don't have one. You know, I'm not the president. You know, I'm not in charge of this shit. I'm just telling you, like, what's most likely gonna happen and some of the causes of what's gonna happen. I don't think I've gone too far into what's really gonna happen, because, like I said, I've never really lived through an oil crisis, so I don't really know. But it's nothing good. Like, this country is literally built on car transportation, you know? So I don't really understand why our leaders are, like, so hell-bent on ruining our country's supply. Because it's like, even if we go into total war with Iran, how are we going to mass produce things like we did during World War II? If people can't drive to the factory or even get paid enough to want to work in a factory, why the fuck would everybody want to go help the war effort when living at home is so bad? The difference in World War II is there wasn't social media and instant news for everybody to where you could see the bullshit the U.S. government was doing. You know, but now most people are like, you know, I don't think I want to be involved in this bullshit, you know? And it's like, with how much issues and stuff that we face back home, it's almost like Vietnam 2 again. You know, it's like Why are we doing this bullshit when we could be, I don't know, honestly, the $200 billion we've already wasted on the Iran war could have paid for everybody's free college in this country. Ew, that's disgusting. My bad. Sorry about that. You know what I mean? It could have paid for free healthcare for a couple years. But instead, we're sending out, what? To protect Israel, $100 million missiles when Iran's using $20,000 drones? Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, you know? Whatever. Alright, that's about it for the video, guys. Just a little rant. Alright, see you guys later.